Happy full moon in Gemini. We are so close to the peak time at 6:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today on December 4th, and it is such a potent energy right now. I say this often, however, this is a super moon. It's the third super moon of the year. It's the final full moon of 2025, and we are really in this momentum as the time is accelerating, as we're approaching the end of the year, and as we're moving from this shedding completion energy of the year of the snake, the year of the nine, into the year of 1 and 10, and also the year of the horse. There are so many layers of things to unpack and things to share. So much has happened since the last time I hopped on and did a session here and shared with you and did a reading. So, if you're new to my channel, first of all, welcome. My name is Carolyn Marie Yakopich, and I can say that this has been such a transformative time, and not an easily transformative time. Not only myself and others that are in my field, that I'm working with, that I'm friends with, you know, people are going through, I want to say, the trenches. I personally went through a dark night of the soul experience, and it was feeling as though it was the root that I was pulling out once and for all. And it was an ancestral pattern. It was a childhood experience, a childhood trauma. And it was a trauma. It was stored so deeply somatically in my body, and I had not felt it in so many years. And I had addressed it before. I had worked on it before. I had cleared it before again and again and again. And I had done so much in my life to come to a place of peace within myself, within those that are involved in how this experience unfolds and gets triggered within me. And it honestly was like I experienced my entire childhood in a week's time. But it was like childhood, teenage years, early 20s, into my 30s, and then up until now. It was like a massive life review of all the experiences all in one. And it was like my body's way of purging and releasing and shedding that layer of protection that was still there. And with it came these belief systems and these limited mindsets that I have around my way of coping with what I had experienced, right? It was protection mechanisms that I created. So, a lot of the times when we go through triggers, there's a couple of ways to go. We either become tyrannical and we yell and we get outward and we get angry, and it's like everything blames the outside, or we turn it on the inside and we become insecure, victim consciousness, self-doubting, all of these aspects start coming in. For me, I retracted. I really got into that state of feeling like my lack of self-worth was coming up, insecurity was coming up. And the interesting thing is, I don't feel these things usually. Like, it's like I've gotten to a place in my life where it's like I know how to come into presence. I can tell when I'm like in my mind too much, and then I have tools in my toolkit to like bring me back to center. Sometimes when energy's off, it's like, okay, what do I need? Do I need to rest? Do I need to go for a walk? Do I need to be in nature more? Do I need to hang out with a friend and have some fun, right? It's kind of like just really being aware of my own needs so that the energy maintenance is there, so that I am taking care of how I show up energetically, because I hold space for others. So typically, yes, of course, there's insecurities that come up like naturally, that are like stuff from the past that still creep in here and there. It's like I'm living the human experience, right? And this experience was not exactly like that. It was like almost like it completely took me over, like the way you would, call out an entity energy where it's just like all consuming. Um, and usually when we go through these experiences, these dark nights of the soul, these like going into the underworld and the underbelly of the beast, right? Of what our own suffering is, our own karmic patterns are. It really gets to this point where we feel almost like we're never going to get out of it when we're in it, because it's so heavy and it's so, like I said, it consumes, right? But all the while, as I was going through it, there was a level of awareness, knowing that, it's like once we get to the state of awareness in our life, we know we're not stuck there, but it still feels like the only reality because somatically it's stored in the body. And then the body believes it to be true. We feel it to be true in those moments, right? So it really becomes, um, it's like it's difficult. It's like all I can say is it feels difficult. And so I had hung out with a couple of friends during this time, and some things were brought to my awareness of my behaviors and how I was self-doubting, and just like kind of the words I would use. And, one of my really like close soul sisters, she said to me, "I've never heard you talk like this." And she's like, "Did you hear what you just said?" And it was weird because they weren't my words. Okay, so they were not my words. They were words I heard and I picked up as a child. And so having this awareness and this greater awareness helped me to navigate. And at the same time, because my body was so deeply purging this experience, it was so somatic, meaning I could feel it. It was like the lived experience was in the now and nothing else existed, because I needed to feel it. I needed to fully let it go, fully release it. And I honestly, I went for a myofascial release session. And before even getting on the table, another dear soul sister that I am deeply connected to, we talked, and I cried like on and off, on and off, on and off for almost an hour and a half to 2 hours. I don't exactly know. We lost track of time before the session, but I want to say it was close to 2 hours of just releasing, expressing, sharing, and like, and it was like, as I was saying it, I was like, I don't understand what is going on right now, because I I haven't had an experience like this in so long. Um, and to this extreme intensity, but leave it to Scorpio season. Leave it to Scorpio season. One of my favorite seasons. This one was intense. It really, really was intense for me. So I'd love to hear in the comments how it was for you, if you've had some experience in the last couple of weeks. The Mercury retrograde just ended. It went direct on the 29th of November, here in the Eastern time zone. That was on Saturday. So it was like we're just into the next week of it lifting. And on Sunday, it was like something shifted and clicked. It was like everything completely lifted, whoosh. And I felt free. It was like, and that's the thing, when we think of freedom, we think like in our minds, yes, okay, freedom, what does freedom mean? And when I think of freedom, it's something I feel in my body. Because when I'm free from all the stuff that's stored inside my body as memory, I'm like a clean slate to be here and now in the present moment, and I'm not defaulting back in the past anymore. So for me, freedom is really a state of the physical body. It's like the physical body's way of being fully and totally here right now. And so, yeah, it really, I just want to say, I also, I know I've said this many times, but I have like very strong placements in Scorpio and Sagittarius. And this Mercury retrograde was in Scorpio and Sagittarius. And I really feel like karmic purging was happening. And I know in the last video that I talked about, so again, depending where your placements are, they could be highlighting specific things for you at that time. And so, the last video I had shared about the 8 year going into this 9 years. So 2024 was all about making us aware of the karmic patterns, the karmic programming, the ancestral patterns that are running through our lineage, and what we are here to clean up and clear out so that we can be creating from a space of clarity and a space of presence, so that we are pillars for the new foundation of Earth, right? Because we are all part of this co-creation. And so now, as this 9 year is coming to a completion, which is a 9 year cycle, we are releasing the residual of that energy, releasing that off. And what a time this last little section of time was, and now we are here in this present moment today, in this full moon in Gemini, a supermoon, and it's time to release, it's time to let go, it's time to reflect, and really also be open to receive, because full moons are a time where we can receive messages and get really quiet and intuitive and go internally. We can also birth things into this world at the time. So you can think of being like a full moon, right? It's like overflowing. It highlights our emotions, it highlights our energy, and it amplifies. So it is a time where we can put things out into the world, we can birth things. It's also, another time where we can be very reflective and release and just see where these kind of pieces are that are still hanging on, that are out of alignment. And I had made a post about this the other day too, like clearing out our energetic space, clearing out the objects. If they are part of who you were in the past, they may no longer serve a purpose for you right now. So that's some inner work to do and to really clean up, because if you're holding on to objects from the past that represent you in the past, you are clinging to a part of you that is no longer. And so part of you birthing a new frequency, right? Part of you birthing the memory of your origin, of the trueness of who you are, is to let go of all the things that you are not. So really, really great time to just continue this cleanup. We have until the end of 2025. And I know it gets busy around like the holidays and things like this, but if you could do a little bit every day, even if it's just a few minutes, like one corner, one drawer, it really makes such a difference to lighten our load, to make us more buoyant and weightless as we move into 2026. And then, as we go into 2026, we still have a little bit more of this shedding of the year of the snake. So just keep taking that practice into the new year. And then once the year of the horse comes in, we're going to be swiftly moving. Time will keep accelerating, I'm telling you. So as we're in this full moon energy, Gemini is such a potent time to connect internally into the space of divine union, inner union. Gemini is the twins, right? That's the depiction, the twins. It's the alchemical marriage in the tarot of the lovers. And this is an inner union, a divine union within the self. So when you think of spirit and you feel the energy of spirit, spirit is energy. It's energy, right? And then you have a physical vessel, a physical body that you have been gifted. So this vessel is a vehicle for your spirit to move through and to become more aware that energy is everything, that spirit is always with you. Spirit is always with you, around you, inside you. And so to really be infused with spirit, it's a great practice to take a pause throughout your day today. Take a pause in the days to come whenever you're watching this video, and to really tune into your breath, because the breath is inspiration, the inspiring, right? So it's spirit moving through us as we breathe. And the more present we become through our awareness, the more present we are with the Spirit of God. And then we connect in with the universe, we connect in with source energy, and from that space of stillness, be still and know, we are able to co-create, and things become much more effortless, much more at ease, and there's much more kind of guidance that comes through signs, through synchronicities, through messages, through knowing when to be still, knowing when to move. So this really is a potent time to unify, to really come into that space. And also Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the mind. It's communication, it's travel, but Mercury is the mind. So Gemini really represents, our higher knowledge and bringing that higher knowledge through ideas into the world. So just allow yourself to notice if you're in duality, if you're in the mind, in the monkey mind, in a scattered state of mind, right? Or the dull state of mind and kind of spaced out, and see what you need to come back into this coherence where your mind is alert, your body is relaxed, and your heart and your mind are connected. And when your heart and your mind link up, there's a magic that happens. It is alchemy. It really is. This coherence that happens allows all of you to become awake and alert and online. And then from that space of alertness, all the gifts come through, all the guidance comes through. So it is the time. It is the time for our infinite self to merge with our finite self, our personal and universal to connect and merge. So it's powerful. It's a powerful time. So we're going to pick some cards to support this energy today and just see what messages come through from Spirit. And I'm asking that these messages are all in alignment as they flip over already, a few of them in the deck, all in alignment for those who are watching today. So the first one that comes through is divine feminine. So this is interesting because we can also look at this unification as the feminine and the masculine merging within, right? The twins. So the divine feminine holds space. It holds context. Also with a full moon, being a moon, right? Moon energy, lunar energy is the feminine, and it receives. So being in that state of receivership, being in that state of stillness to receive intuition, to receive guidance, to receive the next steps. I didn't even read the rest of that message on this card, but it says, receive your birthright and unconditional love. So the other part of this message here is really allow yourself to love all parts of yourself. Okay, so that was interesting, getting completely interrupted on my computer, which there's been a lot of technology stuff happening lately with me. So here we are, anyways, post Mercury retrograde, still having these interruptions, and it's all good. So as I come back to this part of the reading with the divine feminine, there is the aspect of unconditional love. So the feminine energy within you is being invited now to hold your inner child, right? So being the mother to your own child, to any of the things that you've been going through, giving yourself more grace, more love, gentleness, right? And not being so hard on yourself if you're experiencing things that are less than pleasurable. And just knowing that it's part of your healing process. It's part of you releasing these old ways so that you can really shine and come into the full empowerment of who you are when you know you are a co-creator, when you know that divinity flows through you and expresses through you. So it's really this invitation to allow your divine feminine, your mother aspect, to hold your inner child and to reassure your inner child that everything is going to be okay, and giving your inner child the love that it did not receive, that it was seeking as a child. And then from this, the healing occurs. From this, the child comes out to play. And it becomes a really beautiful expansion of energy and a release of the old ways. So the next card that came in with this one was light language, universal language of oneness, of love, and then listen with your heart. So from this, I'm going to go into a little transmission for the Gemini full moon. So feeling into your heart space, feeling into your breath, Maybe closing your eyes as the light just came off at the exact same moment that I said that. So maybe closing your eyes. My light is out now. Oh, what a reading this is. So maybe closing your eyes, turning inward, taking a couple of breaths, just feeling into your body. And just noticing where you're holding any tension in your body and allowing yourself to relax and release in these areas. Yana koyara anashi uaranayate arayanaki anashoi ianase tirianakai. Letting the energy move out of these areas of tension and release out through the soles of your feet and transmute back into Mother Earth's energy. Kuanakai ianati ukuranasi aranaya anashiki anate uanaya yananaya naya naya royanake uanase tianatoe ianatoe shiki anate ianasi ayana ayana ke anate. Now breathe, relax, feel your energy, and allow yourself to come into the space of your heart. Ya, 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 ooh. Ya, 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 ooh. Soften into your heart, breathe into your heart. Feel your etheric energy, the energy that surrounds your physical body, your aura. And connect into your etheric twin, your Ka body, your light body. And this is a replica of your physical form. And tuning into the frequency of this light body of yours. Maybe seeing it, sensing it, knowing it, feeling it. And allowing your light body to gently, softly, fully integrate itself into your physical form. Welcome it into this space. Uranakayara nati ianatoi kitora rana sikia nate uranashikia rana iaranaya ananai koyanate kianatoi ianashe. Feeling your higher self merge. Kuanaya aranati uaranaseki aranatoi ikianashi uaranate. Feeling the vibrancy of your energy and the fullness of your light shining within you, lighting up all the cells of your body. Uaranaya raya nai uaraya. Uaranaya naya haya naya yana haya haya oh. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Softly breathe into the space. Breathe and soften. Breathe and relax. Feeling this integration of your soul self, your heart merging with your mind, your light body merging with your physical vessel. Dorianakaya shitianate ianase. Inhale gently. And exhale softly. And bring yourself back into the space. And gently open your eyes. Okay. So we're going to choose one more card that I'm getting from this deck as a final message for this full moon in Gemini. Fire of transformation, and it's the Phoenix rising. 10, which is the year we're moving into. Radical purification, violet flame, surrendering, and resurrection. And this is exactly where we are right now. This is the resurrection. We have just moved through the flames. We have just moved through very deep scorpionic energy of death, rebirth, transformation. This is the rebirth now. It is time to rebirth yourself. It is time to purify, right? So part of even the clutter clearing and releasing is so that once you clear the old energy, it purifies you into a higher light frequency because you're able to hold space for more. You're able to hold more light. You're able to be that buoyancy is the word that keeps coming. I know I've said it again and again, but if you just feel that essence, right? When there is something you are holding space for in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, mental, it's like real estate in your energy field, in your body, in your mind. And the moment we release those things that are not of service anymore to our highest expression is the moment we open up more space. So that purifies, right? It purifies the system. And as we purify the system, more energy can move through us. So then we can show up in the fullness of our authenticity. So yes, surrendering, allowing, and purifying, right? And some of you may work with Saint Germain energy, the violet flame. So using the violet flame to move through the body, to purify the body can be helpful practice at this time as well. So you can visualize, moving the violet flame throughout and just burning away any of that stagnant energy, burning away any of the old stories, old programs, anything that is residually still living inside that is ready to be released, right? Because that is also key. It's not like it's a one and done thing. We are required to be at a space where we are ready. We are willing to surrender it. We are willing to let it go. So that is the final message, the fire of transformation. So thank you so much for being here. Remember to subscribe to my channel, like this video. It helps to get it out to more people. I really appreciate you being here with me, and I look forward to see you on the next video.